I heard some folks that said that they was helping. In the end, seemed like they saw and see selfish. Mayans in Jamaica said the privilege will never listen because the privilege ain't getting hit, so the privilege ain't never flinching. Meaning, if you're a part of this struggle, then where your scars at? Is you just gonna talk that talk? See, is you a fraud cat? See, I'm gonna tell you the truth. And I know sometimes I hurt, but I act like left, and I swear that the left is worse. See, like if I had to fight somebody, I wanna know who's who. Shout to the right at him, shout choose you. But if somebody was acting like they was my friend, said they was riding for me and to fold me in, man, I'm like, damn. See, that's that shit that the left to. So, somebody to point this out, I'm the best to. Once I prove this is over, ain't no friendly toast, but friendly, matter of fact, I'm gonna do this strictly for the survivors. You know them 800 number dodgers that be chasing after cream while fathers trying to dodge us. They say, boy, when I tell you about picking up that phone with that number unknown, tell them people I ain't home. See, we was fully black, telling white lies. Some other shit I said I was probably mad at white guys, but it wasn't knowing if they had spent the week in my hood, everybody need a Band-Aid that's life size. But fuck, look, I'm gonna talk about that later. We was raised by them essays, I ain't talking about no paper. They said, look out for them folks ain't looking like your neighbor, because them pigs that are killed, they just looking for a hater. See, my Mexican family was a part of my clarity. My Native Americans homie said, they steal, so you cherish things. See, I'm still in land and still in culture. So much damn stealing, we call them stealing vultures. So now I'm Saudi Arabia, sticking to her traditions. She told me Palestine finally getting their recognition. She told me all these kids is dying over the vision, and she said the U.S. government playing a role in it. See, every morning I wake up, I swear I'd be surprised, but I'm gonna speak about this world. I'm speaking through my eyes. I want y'all to know the next level was inevitable, especially when you got some brain power that's incredible. I mean, listen to this shit. It's literal and a metaphor to underline my Brown say I'm not a damn competitor. See, that's problematic when you talk about this magic. Ain't gonna go to the next level, but what they gonna do when they grasp it? Since it's so drastic, we can't just flow past it. Me and you affect the problem, we'll all try to master. See, from Liz to Deverick to Davon to Perry, all these folks to the next level, the thing was they was ready. I'm gonna identify this real quick. They have failed the test, Judge. I'm gonna repeat it again. He has failed the test. When I got him in the cross-sex and I said, I put myself in a position to think about when I spit. I said, my Native American homie said it's still so you cherish things. I'm learning from these people once they have identified the oppressed people. I gave a test inside of doing my 2AC, the majority of it being a crutch of oppressed voices. When I talk about my UD better that dies, when I'm talking about all these oppressed things, I'm talking about the recognize my life verse, when I'm identifying, you know what I'm saying, blood and burns on the flow and all this came from my stepdad head. These still the real life situations that are here, not hypothetical. So when we go outside and stuff, that's the point they'll understand. This debate is happening right here. Now, I tried to understand, like, maybe he would engage with those things. He never said a word about the oppressed things that's happening in this debate. How will we ever trust those same politics to help anything outside this debate? When he said we care about oppressed people, how you care about oppressed people but you don't care about the oppressed people right in front of your face? This is an identification of how white supremacy or the governmental perpetuation of oppression works. We're not identifying something that is faulty as a part of their plan. We're identifying the fundamental thing that they perpetuate their arguments off of. The idea that they will be able to, quote unquote, solve for somebody to give back the land when the land has not been given back all this time by the arguments they presented when they presented critically non-unique. These are the same things that perpetuate oppression instead of actually trying to do their associate. I'm going to go through a little bit of the speech. We said we know the names are being heard. I'm going to ask yourself, why do you identify, why was it never a time to where the affirmative had to identify their social location? Why do we have to ask inside the cross to say, are you a Native American? See, and my point when I come into this place, I always make it a point to identify my social location because that says my awareness of how I view the world through those things. I identify the interactions that I have with those Native Americans and see how those things work. We identify those things because we don't have the privilege of not to. They have linked inside that privilege, and it also links them to not knowing what is the right solvency for those oppressed people. If they do, they have linked more into perpetuating the capitalism system to say, I know better than an oppressed person how to solve for your problems. I'm going to go a little bit down, now I'm going to talk about that. I say, fundamentally, when he said our strategy is better than the last strategy, no. You think that because you're not attached to the oppression. See, an oppressed person that's in a situation would know whether I should go this way because motherfuckers are shooting on that street, or should I go this way? You know what I'm saying? But you have never been in that situation, or never been in a critical situation, or never identified that within this debate. It shows you how they do not have their best strategy. The same way they didn't answer when I said, would you go back to the robber and get your stuff back when you was robbed by that same oppressor? Same way we ask the question, is a white supremacy or a capitalistic system or an oppressive system that will be the same system that helps you out? The praxis conversation they're having, the Ned is doing a better conversation of how we talk about praxis. He says, even if the AF doesn't happen, what he doesn't acknowledge is the AF did happen. He already perpetuated that same oppression as the state has perpetuated. He has done those things within this realm. The idea that I haven't did anything right here is the way I take myself out of this debate and don't see how I am intrinsically linked to that oppression. See, when I talk about my UDL debate, when I talk about Carlos post, when I talk about his mother seeing the dead baby on the floor, when I talk about all these kids down on my street, this is nothing that came up inside those speeches because the oppressed voices, those oppressed things that happen within this space is not important. It shows you how suddenly it's not something that is deemed or can be solved by the affirmative. Now, if fairness is the point issue, then we win because it was fair because it was unfair because before we walked in due to historical exclusion. Our method functions as increased black thought, leaving the playing field. Voting nay is a precondition of fairness. Hill 97 says debate is just like the classroom, grounded in white Western ideology, our frowns upon black athletics and communication styles, pushing blacks further down the hill to disadvantage. Code switching exemplifies fairness in debate that plays out. Understand, the white vernacular never has a code switch to the black vernacular, but it is our job to code switch to everything he has said. The fact that he admits and concedes to the fact that he didn't say one word about majority of my speech means you automatically lose. On top of that, you have perpetuated that same oppression of exclusion, not listening to what is really going on that he critiques the state of. Impacting education, making it act as a precondition. Our next level argument is identifying how you engage with the next level. You gave us those voices of the oppressed. He has not even engaged those voices of the oppressed because I said that argument inside of black vernacular. This is the identification. Hopefully now you'll say something because I'm saying it in a democratic way. We said decision making. We talk about democracy. Go back to my spiel. What I said, ain't no democracy. Because all I ever see was police, crackheads, and the doctor's seat. That is the identification of our reality, and that don't account for being why they lose.